look at the beast I have sitting on my bench. This is the Dominion Arms DA50 50 BMG bolt action rifle, and it just arrived in the mail, and I'm pretty friggin' stoked. It is quite a piece of equipment. The first thing that totally caught me off guard, it weighs a friggin' ton. I haven't actually weighed it, but to lift it up, it actually feels like you're lifting just a solid pole of steel. And I don't know, it's gotta weigh, easily 30 pounds, something like that. Maybe I'll put a little picture up in the corner when I do actually weigh it, of how much it actually weighs, because it is staggeringly heavy. But I guess, you know, you got some pretty heavy equipment. The round that goes through it's pretty heavy too, so it's got to be up for the challenge, I guess, and be able to handle that kind of pressure. So what I'm gonna do today is there is some minor adjustments you have to make to marry your AR lower to the DA50 upper. So I'm gonna do a few of those changes and see if I can get this thing up and working and put together. They do send you this little piece of paper here, which just basically says remove the bolt catch, remove the original hammer and hammer spring, and then they send you this new hammer and hammer spring. And there's also this little pin, so I'm hoping it all fits very easily together. And there's one thing they didn't put on this that you do have to take out as well, and that's the buffer back here, because when the bolt slides back, it's going to hit this buffer and it's going to want to keep it forward. So these are pretty easy to take out. There's just a little tiny little button right down in there. We'll push that down, push that down, and out she comes. The buffer and the buffer spring, and that can go aside somewhere. We won't be needing that anymore. And there, step one done. This is going much better than my last gunsmithing video. Okay, second thing, we need to take care of the bolt catch right here on the side. This actually goes up and hits the bottom of the upper, so we got to take this out. Now it looks like there's just a little pin right here that needs to be knocked out. You know what, let's frig with the hammer first, and the hammer spring. Release the tension there. Now I'm quite sure hey, there we go, look. Just knock that pin out. Hopefully the hammer doesn't come flying out, because it is under tension from the spring. Just like that. Now, which is awkward, just like that. There, through, just like that. Now, it works. I did it! Alright, let's keep all of the original AR-15 parts together. Okay, so it turns out I didn't have everything I needed to finish this. It turns out there's quite a few steps to actually get everything functioning properly. As well, I had to get some new rings to put my scope. Of course, you need to get extra high rings. Extra high rings are important so that if you have a large aperture on your scope, that you have enough clearance from the top of the flat rail. So I got some rings, I got some new punches because, as you know, I was using Allen keys for punches. New hammer, has a little more weight than that model hammer I had. But this was the big thing, and this was really what I got the what I ordered stuff for, which is this wrench, and that is because this right here, which is called the king nut, is what's holding this little piece in place, which is basically just a catch for the buffer spring. And for the buffer and the buffer spring, and so we need to unscrew this, take the buttstock off, and then get this little catch out of here. There we go. Just had to set it up the right way to get it to break. So now this, as I screw this off and pull it out just a little bit, I'll take some of the pressure off. I should just be able to unscrew this, and it should pop out just like that. Very easy. It's also don't want to lose that pin. Oh, I see. This is the spring that holds. All I want to do is take this out, and I just want to take this spring out because I don't need that. And go with my AR parts now. That I made a mess of this. I have to put it all back together. Now let's just tighten this nut up, hold that in place. Alright. So there, now our buffer catch is gone, which means the bolt should now slide back and forth. Tighten that up a little bit. Get the limb saver tactical snap-on recoil pad. Now, there's a very good reason I did this. Not because I'm a wimp, even though, you know, I might be kind of a wimp. Look at this thing. That's just plastic, straight to the shoulder. That is a 50 caliber rifle, 50 BMG to be specific. And when this thing goes boom and that thing goes into your shoulder, there's really nothing there to give you any sort of comfort. So, from the reviews I read, this thing is supposed to be excellent at exactly what it says. Saving your limbs, or in this case, keeping my shoulder in place. This one is designed for 6-position AR buttstocks, and it should, oh so slightly, just kind of slide on there. There, just like that. Wow, now I can say that is jelly. That is really nice. Like, I can definitely see how that would do a lot of good. Yes, sir. So, when I actually fire the gun, I'll let everybody know how well that works. About 50 bucks. It's probably 2 or 3 times more than any of the other ones out there. But it's supposed to be one of the best ones, and now that I'm kind of touching it, I can certainly see why. It's very cushy. Okay, so now that the gun's complete, I'm going to just kind of oil everything down, just give it a kind of a coat, and protect all the parts. And the reason I use Rem oil is not for lubrication, it's more as a coating and a cleaner, and it does a good job of just giving a base. once we get it all together. There we go. Okay. Now, just because it's the only nice rifle scope I own, I am going to put my Burris full field 4.5 to 14, which I know isn't much for long distance, but I really don't have a grand to drop on a nice scope right now. So we're going to use this thing. I'm going to get kind of an idea of where I want to set it. You know, I'm thinking something like that. It probably should be, yeah, this could be pretty close. I really won't know until I get the rings set, and then we can move them. Just off first glance, I'm thinking something like this. Alright, well, I think I pretty much got it. I'm just going to tighten it down like that. The clearance looks really good right here for the scope. Just a little bit of room, enough it's not going to bang around. So I should be able to tighten everything up, and then God willing, I'm going to get some ammo and fire this beast. And I can't wait.